Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Adam Lee Henderson of the ALH brand, and this is going to be a story time. I haven't done a story time in a while, and I wanted to sit down on this 9th day of Vlogtober and just tell you a quick story, really about how I'm surviving New York City. You guys, I love New York City. I love the fact that I moved here. It has become a thrill of mine to be able to explore and become accustomed to now this amazing city where there's endless opportunities and possibilities for anybody who moves in this area. And so adjusting to New York City life has been a challenge, but I would say a good challenge, because I'm used to living in the South. I lived in the North for the first 10 years of my life as an adolescent. And so now as an adult, I have a new look on life. There is so much more about New York City that I can't wait to dive into, but y'all better be prepared for what's about to happen. New York City, y'all don't know who y'all just met. Adam Lee Henderson is taking over, respectfully, of course. And so I want to tell y'all a quick story time about how a man tried to commit suicide. Now, I don't know if he actually died, but it was the most traumatic experience in my life to go through something like this. My wife and I are about to go to the movies. We're on the train tracks, on the subway, if you will, waiting for the subway to come. And my wife and I were having a conversation about, I think, finances at the time. And it was very intense. Anytime marriages talk about finances, you know that's really intense. If you are married, you probably already know where I'm going with that. And so my wife and I are engulfed. We are in deep conversation with our finances. And there's a gentleman that's walking back and forth, but I'm not paying it any mind. I know my wife, she notices something, and I even noticed it too, but I'm not putting two more thoughts into it because literally my mind is consumed on the conversation we're having about money. And so the subway is on the way. Now, just a normal day as I've been in New York City waiting for the subway to come. It comes up, it's passing me, it stops, and I get on. It's normal, right? But this in particular moment, the guy who's been walking back and forth and mumbling something, he's kind of teeter-tottering on the edge. And again, this is happening in a split second. So I'm noticing that, and I'm just like, no, he's not jumping. I'm thinking to myself, nah, he's not gonna jump. Like, no, this isn't happening. Mind you, I'm still consumed with the financial thoughts that my wife and I were having. And so I'm trying to multitask all these thoughts at the same time, and it's just not meshing. And so the subway gets to a certain point where we are, and here he jumps right in front of the subway, hits the front, comes tumbling back onto the platform and busts his head on one of the poles. When I tell you and it was crowded, the entire community, the crowd that was there was shooketh, and including my wife and I. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this happening? Is this happening? Of course, everybody's in complete, utter chaos. There's this older lady, she starts crying, boo-hooing, and by having just going off. Of course, this is very traumatic. I understand. What is most interesting is how the community dealt with the situation. I will say some of them really jumped in and tried to help this man, and it was a beautiful moment to try to save a life, although he was trying to take his own. But then there were some people who were trying to spectate but make something bigger than what they were. They literally, I would say, only two people saw it. Me and my wife and another individual that was standing right next to us. Nobody saw what happened. Literally, my wife and I were the ones there. My wife and I are looking right at him, and for a moment I thought to myself, maybe I should snatch him back. But in that moment, I'm just like, what is happening? I don't know. Like, this man cannot be getting ready to jump. I wish I was able to just tap in so quickly to stop him from doing this. My goodness, I had to really debrief with my dad. My dad talked me down because I was so upset and hurt and scared. My dad, he kind of put things into perspective for me, so I'm so grateful for him. But eventually the cops came, the ambulance came. He was still breathing, thank God, and they were able to take him to the hospital, but I'm just hoping that he is okay. But that among many different stories is what's happening in New York City, that we really need to take care of our own. We have to be intentional with our communities, no matter where you are, whether it's New York City, LA, Houston, Miami, Virginia Beach, and no matter where you are in this country, there is a world of individuals out there that are struggling, and people are dealing with depression and anxiety and stressed out, and that the only thing that they have, the only option sometimes that they have, is to take their own life. And so we really need to be, number one, in a prayer mode state, right? We have to maintain an art, a practice of prayer for our communities, for our families, for our neighborhood, for the region that we are assigned to be in. We have to stay prayerful, but also we need to be kind to others. Oh my goodness, there is such a world out there that's struggling. I'm looking right over, I'm on my rooftop and I'm looking at the city. I can see Manhattan, and I just think about the millions of people that live in this city. Now, a grave majority of them that are struggling in this city. We have to look out for one another. We need to create a world. We have to create a world where we are taking care of each other. I was looking up, trying to find information in the news as to what happened to this man, and I cannot find any information. And so I guess that's a good sign, because if he died, they probably would have been on the news, but perhaps maybe it just didn't get that opportunity. I often think about him. I hope he's okay. I hope that he was able to get the help that he needs. And I hope his family has been able to assist with getting him the help that he needs, right? I think about that, gentlemen, because it could be either one of us. It could be any one of you that are watching this video, right? And so I just wanted to share that story, just to create an awareness that we have to look out for one another. So yeah, that's my story time for today. Don't forget to like, share, comment. Most importantly, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. All right, I love y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next vlog. Peace.